Hey guys, we're back at this poo turd project, and yeah, this was pretty much where I left off. My parts came in. One thing that is not replaceable is this middle nipple. The grommets, no problem. I can get those all day long. Boy, that feels like plastic. That feels exactly like plastic. Horrible. So that thing's toast. But here, can you see down in there? Do you see how restricted that has become? I mean, that's just total crap. Absolute teetotally. It's so bad. So, uh, I have a, thought. I have a theory. I could replace this with brass. I mean, you can get basically that at any hardware store, and you can get, say quarter to 5/16 at any hardware store. I could kind of work with that. I could do that, but I don't think this is beyond salvation. So what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna punch a hole through it, see if I can open it back up. Worst thing I can do here is go too far and make it paper thin, but otherwise, if it cleans up, then hey, I reuse it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I figure we'll start with something like yay. Oh, she likes it like that. Come on, it's a little funny. I can't see the light. There we go. That was not difficult. All I did was basically take out a little bit of rust. Well, actually, a lot of rust. But yeah, I don't know if that's. I mean, I wasn't hitting any resistance, so I definitely did not make the hole any larger. Yeah, I kind of almost want to go one size bigger now, just because. I mean, that punched right through. There was nothing to it. You know what? No, I have a second thought here. Hang on. Here, I'll show you. Here we go. Mag wheel cleaner. Not any mag wheel cleaner. This should be specifically for. Well, it's going to be safe for mag wheels, but it should be hydrochloric acid. I think somewhere it said it. I just wanted to make a correction here real quick. I said this was hydrochloric. No, not hydrochloric. Sulfuric. I hope this is showing. I'm looking at a baby screen through a magnifying glass because I'm so fucking blind I can't see my own dick anymore. It's bad. So bear with me. Anywho, it's sulfuric, not hydrochloric. Just wanted to clarify. I got two different versions of the same thing, but it's that acid that's going to get the job done. It occurs to me that this is the piece that I need to sit and soak. And I don't have a good container for doing that. I mean, yeah, everybody's got containers. That's not the problem. The problem is I want to use as little acid as humanly possible. So I was thinking, see where I'm going here. Hack off a piece of this. That way I can completely submerge this in acid and only use what is absolutely necessary, hopefully wasting as little as humanly possible. So, well, something like that. I think. Yeah. Something like yay. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Then we take... I did think about this. I really did. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. Put it in one of these Ziploc freezer bags here. Rubber band it off. Tighter than that. Acid won't eat this, not this. Pour a little acid down in there. Well, drop that guy in. Give her some acid. I think this will work. Nice. Pretty simple. And then kind of twist her off and rinse and repeat with rubber band here. Or so I think. Alright, and just for good measure, something like that, and then something to keep it upright overnight, just a good old paint cap. Let it sit and soak. It can breathe, you know, as gases expand, it can fill the bag, but vapors won't really get out. I mean, there's a lot of breathing room up here. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe it's all for naught. I don't know. We're gonna find out though tomorrow morning. I mean, it shouldn't take much, but overnight sitting, that's gonna let me know if it's gonna do anything or not. So yeah, that's my game plan. That's my thoughts and theories anyway. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. Hey guys, it's been a couple of days since I did this sit and soak thing with the little nipple at the bottom of the gas tank. I figured, well, what happened is I got lazy, and yeah, so this sat for a couple of days. Anywho, let's take a look and see what it looks like here. Seems to have worked okay. No major gases have expelled, but a little bit of liquid there. It looks pretty dirty. Hope that's coming through on camera. Let's take a look. Ooh, that stinks. Oh, that stinks. Oh, rotten eggs. Get out of there. Whew. Ah. That is bad. There you go. I don't know if it's... Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's exactly better or not. Kinda. I mean, green stuff there. Kind of looks like new, actually. I'm going to go rinse this off and we'll take another look at it. Alright. I rinsed that off. Just plain old water. Nothing special. It, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was worth it, to tell you the truth. I think I could have done just as well, just as easily, a whole lot faster, actually, with a wire wheel and a little bit of sandpaper. There's a lot of crustation that's on this side. Not so much on this one. But hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. Kinda. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a wire wheel to it and, yep, call her a day. I guess it did something. It certainly got shinier. But, it's still going to take some effort, some manual labor to clean that up. So there we go. Done. Alright, I spent a little more time on this. I used my Dremel tool with a couple of different wire wheel attachments. And, well, you see what I see. I cleaned up, not teabag. Almost pretty good shape. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to call it done and move on to, well, the natural progression of this project here. I guess I got to drill that bolt out of the steering wheel next. That's going to suck, but it's got to be done. So that'll be what I move on to next. Hey guys, we're back at this little big block thing again. Let's see, when last we were at this, oh yeah, it looked like that. But I want to drill that out today. Get rid of that piece of shit Scotch lock there. They are no freaking good. And maybe, I don't know, just maybe, get this guy back together. If not today, it'll probably be tomorrow, depending on how things go here and what time of the day it gets to be. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna set up here and I guess we'll get into it. I'm not gonna get too overly fussy with this. I'm just gonna try and punch a hole in there and try to keep it on center, but it's not the end of the world. I'm gonna have wiggle room no matter what, so I'll be all right, I think. Yeah, it's damn near perfect, so, well, it's going to be good enough, that's for sure. As long as I can go through there straight, we'll be all right. I think I'm gonna downsize. This ain't the best bit, I'm sure. Let's try this bit, see if it works any better. Indeed, much better. I don't want to whack the camera lens. Curly cube. It's going. And I'm running into stuff in my way. Oh, come on now, check this out. Just for eyeballing it, take a look at that. That's damn near centered, or 100% close enough, that's for damn sure. Not teabag. All right, now I'll just keep stepping it up little by little. What a difference a sharp drill bit makes, huh? Never leave home without them. Not that. Put that guy back where it came from. None of that. I do not know what size this originally was, but I'm gonna get. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep bouncing this damn camera around. I'm thinking it's going to be about this size. Close enough. would say is just about this size. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty damn close. Oh, there's still a little of that, just a teeny tiny bit left. Oh man. I could file it down and call it a day right there, but I think I'm gonna go one size bigger. I think so. That smells hot. Can you smell that? There. Yeah, that did it. That did it. The strain that you hear, I mean, it's not the drill struggling. That's me just barely on the trigger. When it bites, I want it to bite and stop, which is currently what it's doing. If I just, you know, if I hammer through it and it grabs hard like you've seen it do, and I bust this fucking bit off, oh, yeah, I don't know. That would be the end of my world right there. That is hot. That's hot. Toasty, toasty. So yeah, this is all that's left. That piece that I drilled out. That is not too bad. Not too bad at all for eyeballing it. So now it just kind of looks like, well, just looks like a hole. So I'm gonna clean this up with a wire wheel. I don't think there's any need to show you how to do that because, well, everybody already knows. So yeah, get that cleaned up and get on to soldering that thing, and then, well, basically it's time to put it back together. I got my parts and stuff, and so yeah, should go together pretty lickety spit. Shouldn't give me any issues. I hope not. Anywho, we're gonna find out. So we're back at it. Got the steering column shaft cleaned up pretty well. Pretty good, I think she is. Or at least it's gonna be pretty damn good enough. So, I cleaned this area up here, this mess, that rat nest or mouse nest or whatever the hell. There's still a bunch of crap down in there, but whatever. I ain't dealing with it. I don't fucking care. Enough is enough already. Anywho, I'm gonna tackle this. I'm gonna get on to clearly this was an afterthought. Say this whole line, this whole wire here, you know, was all ran like, you know, a jackass. Clearly nobody cared. They just wanted to get something done quick and dirty, and you just don't do shit like this. You know, don't fucking do it. I mean, I don't care a whole lot more than they did, but well, electrical is kind of my thing. So yeah, I'm gonna pay a little more attention to that, and I'm gonna tune that up because my lifetime worth of experience has taught me that you know, anytime you see shit like this, you just deal with it. You just deal with it because it doesn't take long to do it right, or at least a whole lot better than that. And then you never, ever have to chase that electrical ghost. And I hate chasing ghosts, electrical or others. So, no, just fuck no. Just don't do shit like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna pack these connectors full of dielectric, and yeah, that's it. We're gonna get into it, and then this guy can pretty much go back together. I do believe. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into it. I hope you guys can see this. Not so sure, but hey, whichever, whatever. Maybe I can do it all in post correction and whatnot. You've all seen these things. Those that have not seen it, it's just this metal clip that literally chafes the coax coating here on both wires to make a connection. This one is only, you know, to the end of my finger here. This one. This is an entire, you know, wire. Or at least that's how it looks. No, it's probably the other way around. I'm sorry, my bad. This is the one that's short. We're gonna combine that properly with solder, with heat shrink, and hopefully not do a shit job at it, but it worked this far this long, so can't be that bad. You see what's going on there? See that? It just does this, and I mean that's horrible. It's everything about that is horrible. Just nah, don't fucking do it. We can reuse it. Alright. We can reuse the wire. The wire's fine. The length was fine. So that's my game plan anyway. A chop and a strip with about the shittiest pair of strippers on the planet here. These are crap, but hey, it'll do. It'll work for what I need to do with it, and because we can cut that off. Start with a clean end here. I have it here somewhere. Somewhere. Come on, man. Shit. Maybe I don't. I gotta find my heat shrink. Hang on. Alright, this is about what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put these guys together loosely. And just kind of wiggle it in. Wiggle it in. And give her a twist, give her a twist. See what's happening here? Just like that. Exactly. Like that. Then we're gonna take this guy. I can't see that. I gotta get behind the damn camera here. This. I've done this. I did a video on this already. This is one of the projects I needed it for. It's a butane soldering iron. If you haven't seen it already, I'll put a link to it in the description below. But it's, you know, this. Pretty simple. It's a nice one because this is all aluminum. Most of these guys are plastic, cheap shit. This is not an expensive unit by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got it where it counts. That's kind of what I'm going to begin and end with right there. I'll put a link to the video I did on this, and you know, you can see and judge for yourself. Take and put the soldering tip in here, like yay. line up the holes. Like, yay. And I don't know if this has any gas or not. It sounds like it. Yep, yep, yep. All right. I'm going to use a solder that came with the thing. Just because I can. This does have like an exhaust jet, which I learned in the video I did initially. You gotta be a little careful with that. Take it a little longer, turn it up. Thought this would go a little faster, but hey, it's doing. This is taking some time. I don't think the solder has any flux in it. The stuff that I would normally use does. That's what's going on. It don't got no flux. It's hot enough. I really need some flux. All right, I mean, this thing actually soldered 10 gauge battery cable and like welding cable. Like I said, I'll show you in the link below with this exact tip, everything exactly the same, but it's struggling with this little baby, I don't know, 18? 18. This would be 18. Yeah, it's just not having a good time with that. Like I said, I know why. It's because there's no flux. There's no flux in this. It's hot enough. The solder just doesn't want to move because, well, there's no flux. So flux! Flux it. I don't know if I have any over here. Damn it. I got some flux. Here it is. Let's see what this does. I know that's what was going on. I don't honestly understand why. I mean, it was clearly getting hot. You can see how melted the the coax is getting right at the ends, both ends, in fact. But solder just does not want to flow unless copper is dead clean. And this is not exactly clean stuff, but hey, it's what I got. Let's see what it does now. Is it going? I don't think it lit. There it goes. Give her a minute. Where is my solder? Ah, you gotta be kidding me. I swear to God, I would lose my own fucking nuts if they weren't attached. Ah, blind. It looked like a socket. I couldn't see it. Anywho. Where's the hole? Yep. Instantly, it looks better. Just like that. See how quickly that wetted in? A little bit of flux. Whoa, scooter. Still having a hard time with this because it's dirty copper, but that is the job of flux. I mean, just magically it happens. Like magic. All right. I call that good. All that dicking around, and all I needed was a little bit of acid. Well, that's, I don't know if you know, but basically this is a pasty acid cleaner, flux, whatever. That's all it is. That ain't going nowhere. Not anytime soon. Let's see if I can make it a little more round. Round and round. Then, slide that guy over and do it one more time. Come on. That little jet thing should come in handy for this. It should. Looks pretty good. It's the same as it was. I mean, electrically speaking, it's just, you know, this is a connection I can trust, and the other one, you know, is going to be one of those intermittent. Sometimes she works, sometimes she don't, and you're always wondering why. you go bouncing down a rocky road or something like that, or a rocky driveway with this, and some of your lights start blinking, flashing, and carrying a fuck on. Yeah. This is why that shit would always happen. Not anymore. I mean, I'm not saying it won't still happen, but it won't be because of this. So these ends are decent enough. I just shmoosh them up with some dielectric grease. This is a non-conductive. Well, it's literally what the name implies. It's dielectric. It provides an electrical barrier as well as a water barrier, a slight thermal barrier. It's just good stuff. Keeps your connections clean from corroding and whatnot. I'll pack this guy full of it, and you know, all my connections that I make here kind of go from that point. But all right, so that was that, and yeah, pretty much just gonna fill it full of schmoo, and now this thing can start going back together anyway. All right, next. All right, I think I've decided how I'm going to route this. Originally, they had this black cable kind of like run up right under this cowl here, right under this front lip, and it was just, you could see half the wire hanging out on this side. I believe there are rust marks to prove that somewhere in here. But anyway, clearly somebody did it in a hurry, or got to the point where they just didn't fucking care. And well, I mean, I can't say I care a whole lot more, but kind of. Anywho, I'm gonna run it back because once this is connected to the switch, it'll just kind of float a little bit, and this is out of the way of that cable over here. So I mean, you know, no amount of actuation is ever gonna hit the wire, and it's just got to go to that hour meter right there. So, you know, whatever, it can flop around. It can't go too far front because the gas tank's going to be right in here. So yeah, it's just going to kind of fucking sit there. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that you know, this be the correct methodology for, you know, you guys, but it for my application here, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna leave it because yeah, I'm fucking done with it. It's good enough. As long as this thing's gonna last me, the tractor's gonna blow up before that fucking wire ever shorts out or fails on me. So yeah, pick your poisons, right? All right, it's time to go back together. I can't see, is that thing going or not? Yeah. All right, I guess we're gonna schmoo it up. I put here, I'll show you quick. I put a zip tie on here. I still got wiggle room, you know, I can pull it wherever I need to, but it's gonna keep it away from the steering shaft and keep it, you know, from flopping around, keep it away from the gas tank area. You know, it's as good as it's gotta be. Now I'm gonna schmoo it up, I guess. Little dielectric grease. This is good stuff. If you don't have any in your arsenal, get it. You can thank me later. Just a little bit will do, and keeps things from corroding, keeps things from oxidizing, corroding. Otherwise, it's just good stuff. Anything electrical. Normally you would use this on the spark plug side of a spark plug wire. That's typically where you would use this, but no, it works everywhere. Everywhere. They don't look bad. I mean, a little corrosion there, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm not worried about it, but you can see the corrosion. Here, let me grab the light. See the corrosion? This stuff will stop that from happening. I mean, overall, this switch looks fine, and it wasn't a problem, so I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. I'll give her the old jiggle wiggle on insertion. And there you go. Oh, that's in further than it ever was before. So there's that too. All right, everything's schmooed up there. I gotta do this one over here. One more time. One more time. All night. Yeah, all night. One more time. And, all right. Let's put the gas tank in, I guess. Hey. Remember how fucked this fitting was? This yeah, bunghole grommet. I got a fix for that. I got these. I know, take them out of the pack, asshole. And so I will. I got 3 for, I don't know, I think it was like $7. It is what it calls for, and it ain't nothing to write home about. But, yeah. That's supposed to go in there. And it's gonna be a tight fit. This one, here. I don't know, I think I showed this earlier. I know I showed how I was cleaning this up and whatnot. But I don't know, maybe I'll do a flashback here, and you can go see for yourself. This was bad. This was so fucking bad. But hey, it cleaned up pretty okay. I got nothing to complain about here, and nothing that I'm gonna worry about. So yeah, there's that. Oh yeah. She's going to be a tight one. There we go. Give her a little twist and turn, make sure everything's good and seated. And that feels good. Yes, indeed. All right. Was not the end of my world. Gotta get some fuel on here. I need a hose clamp, and where the hell did I keep them all? It's good enough for me. Some brand new fuel line here. It goes this way. That's how I'm gonna do it. Right, like yay. With schmoo. There we go, that schmoo. Yeah. That's better. I think that's good. So anyway, now where is the hole? Oh. All right, I'll got to move the camera. I'll set you up. See what I'm doing over here. All right, we got to get this hose from Ha up through this tiny little hole right Ha. There she is. And now, because it was before feeling like it was kinked, I think that needs, yes it does need a little slack. I think that's probably what was going on. I know the fuel filter that I had on this was not proper for this particular tractor engine combination. It used to have one of those little flat pancake filters. They're called pancake filters, but they're just cheap shit. They only do like, I don't know, 75 micron, 85 micron, something like that. I mean, they'll basically let stones into your carburetor. They're shit. But that's what comes on these guys, most of the older shit. Some of your push mowers have them as well. I wanted to upgrade that, and I literally replaced it with what I originally purchased this tractor with. In other words, the filter that I replaced it with is the filter that was originally on this. I just got a brand new version of the same old thing. Anywho, and what I mean is specifically these here. What I mean is these guys here. It's a paper filter element, and this is good for, I think, 30 microns. I do believe it's somewhere between 25 and 30 microns. So I mean, it's infinitely better in filtration than what was. But you can clearly see, I mean, the physical size and where it's got to go. It's got to go right here. Well, no, it doesn't. It's not going to go there no more. What I'm going to do, or at least I'm still mapping this out here. I think what I'm going to do is I'll replace this line, but I'm going to put the filter somewhere up in here, and then I'll run hard tubing. Yeah, I'll hard line this somewhere because I'm gonna have to make a bend. Well, I'm gonna have to make a couple of bends that won't be. Oh, it won't be exactly nice to do with hose. So I'll just make some hard tubing, one simple bracket, you know, and hose clamp here and there, and fucking done. It'll be good for as long as I need. And two, I'm gonna put a shutoff valve in. So, but I want to put the shutoff valve after the fuel filter, because otherwise this is another source, another bowl that you would have to run dry in order to shut the damn thing off, or literally run it out of gas. And that is my game plan, ultimately, to prevent my previous issues from ever reoccurring. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Anywho, I think... Yeah, I think this ran out of slack at one point, and that caused that kink. I'll do a flashback here. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll do a flashback somewhere. There wasn't no way in hell I was getting down into that. No way in hell. I hope you can see that. Eee, come on, tripod. You can do it. You see that? And even that looks like it was kinked. Yeah. It's flat. See how it has that, like it looks like it's been squeezed up top? That's been my problem for a long time. I mean, it's not the actual reason that I replaced the carburetor. But it's a contributing factor to a problem that's been going on for a while now. So, I mean, there was no other way of doing it. And look, it's leaking. Out of the bunghole. To show you what I was talking about. Originally, this hose was kinked at the bottom of the tank here, and that was no good at all. That was part of the problem. I mean, there were multiple issues here. So, one by one, you know, the deeper you go, the more problems you find, and whatever. It's just more shit. And but it's all pretty basic. It's all real simple and pretty cheap. I am well beneath the price of a brand new carburetor into this. I'll do a tally, I guess, at the end of this one, because this should be the last video on this tractor. So, yeah, show you the price of a brand new one, which I think that a brand new Weber carb was no, it wasn't Weber. It was a Warbro. Or yeah, Warbro carb, which would be the OEM carb for this. A brand new OEM carb for this was like 130 bucks plus. And then, you know, I mean, there would have been shipping and then tax and shit on top of that. And, you know, I got this cheap Chinese fucker for, I don't know, I think it was like 27 bucks or something like that. So I'm in it to win it. Hopefully that's the way it turns out. Anywho, we'll get into it then. All right, I did a couple things here off camera because it was all just petty nonsense. Well, just I know this thing's getting monotonous, and you know, I'm not really cutting much, and you'll see. I mean, I think I got 3 videos. This will probably be the 3rd one, and it'll probably be just give or take about an hour long, and it's basically real time. I mean, what you're seeing in the video is literally, you know, physical time that I spent on this project here, from start to finish. So I mean, it didn't take long. It took weeks, literally freaking weeks, if not a month plus. But in physical, you know, actual time spent, not a lot of. But I did break down, and I bought a new fuel gauge here. It was, I think it was $12, maybe $13 to my door. And just so I don't got to deal with the bullshit from that old one that, well, literally didn't work for shit anymore, I thought, you know, hey, stop kicking myself in the nuts, spend a couple bucks. And like I said, I'm gonna tally all this up when I'm said and done, and I'm still gonna be way the fuck ahead of game. I'm not gonna have nowhere near even $100 into it. I'm sure of that. I don't know where I'm gonna end, but it's gonna be well under $100 to have, hopefully, another couple of 5, maybe 10 years of turnkey drive tractor out of this thing, and that is my ultimate game plan. But anywho, what I did is I ran the fuel line. I just put the new line, connected it, you know, with well, basically one of these guys here, and pulled it through. And just for shits and giggles, I can make sure the tank doesn't leak right now, and that is my prime concern at this moment. I can get this thing fired up. I'm going to run hardline tubing up in here. I don't have any yet. I don't have the size that I need. Yeah, I got plenty of it. I just don't have the size that I need, of course. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some fuel into it, verify, you know, before I button everything back up, that the tank is not leaking, and we're going to be fine here. I'm not going to put a fuel filter in here anymore. No, because it's too tight. It doesn't fucking fit. I'm going to put it somewhere in that general vicinity, somewhere up in here. But like I said, I'm going to hardline tube this so I can make nice bends, so shit ain't flopping around the way it is now, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to put some gas in it and fire it up, I guess. Yeah. That should be enough to test it anyway. I don't see any drippings on the floor. That is a good sign. Yay. quarter tank. Good enough, good enough. Where's my light? Oh, this guy's dying. Oh my. It's dry. Here, I'll show you. I don't see anything leaking. Looks pretty good to me. Pretty good and dry. And this was horrible before. I mean, you saw it. I did a flashback somewhere here. I'm sure I would have done it. If I didn't do it before, I'm going to do it now. Anywho, let's see if the thing runs. I didn't prime anything here. I don't even see any fuel on the filter. So I'm gonna have to crank on this for a little bit until it gets going. That didn't take long. Don't be an asshole. Come on. Knock. I'm sure that's the engine knocking. runs. It don't run right.
Oh, no?
No. I was sure that was it, the culprit there. All right, we're back at this thing a couple days after the fact. I got a little lazy and we got a shit ton of rain and I just didn't feel like so. Whatever, today's a new day and off camera I put this whatever dashboard cowl whatever thing back together, and that was 5 minutes of well, 5 minutes of just bullshit work. You didn't really need to see any of that. You watched me take it apart, so you don't need to see me put it back together. You know, you're welcome. Anywho, when we left off here, this thing runs fine, except at wide open throttle. Gets up there pretty good, about 3/4, but as soon as you take it to full throttle, well, that's pretty much the end of the story. So, there's not a lot to it. It is not getting enough fuel up top, and it needs more. Also off camera, because I'm gonna do a couple tests here. There's only one other thing that it can be, because this ran fine before with the original carburetor. I didn't have any trouble, you know, with this exact same setup, the same type of fuel filter, the same, all that jazz. So it's not a supply problem, and that fuel filter is nice and full just from sitting. When I came over here, let's see if I can get some light down in there. When I came over this morning, and let's see if we can see anything shiny down in there. I hope so. Oh, I can't see it on the little baby screen that I'm looking at here, but it's there's a puddle in there. It's leaking fuel through the needle in the seat. That's another reason for this shutoff valve. Anywho, what I was getting at, but it's not getting enough fuel up top. No problem with the supply line here. I mean, that was a problem, but now that's totally fixed. So there's only one thing left, and that's the float height adjustment. So, unfortunately, I don't see an option here. I got to take the top of this carb off, the air horn there, and at least take a look at, otherwise hopefully verify that yay or nay, you know. either it's hard level. I looked up the specs on this, so the float's just supposed to be dead level. If it's anything other, hopefully it's going to be higher than that. That would pretty much confirm my suspicions. If it's lower than that, well, that's not the problem. But if it's higher, well, then I know that's pretty much what's going on with it. Anywho, I'm gonna do yeah, I'm gonna set up here, and I guess hopefully, God, I hope I can, you know, reuse that gasket. I hope it doesn't tear. So, all right, enough talking. Let's get into her. Where did I put my ratchet? Always in the place I'm not looking. Hello? this off, okay? Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, it's that plastic fucking thing. Oh, that's a snot. Yep. That looks very wrong. Clearly not level. Let's see if we can see this. Oh man, I hope you can see that. Much higher on this side than it is on this side. I mean, I don't even have to measure it. You can see it. It's supposed to be, you know, dead flat from here to there, you know, in all surfaces. And I mean, there's definitely a gap difference there. So this thing is non-adjustable, and it's a real piece of shit. Man, why so difficult? Fuck. Let me think about this and we'll go from there. All right, just out of curiosity, I grabbed the old carb just to well, see how compatible they are, because I remember this one had a brass metal float here, and when I took it apart, well, I mean, I just wanted to show you. This is what I'm talking about. Let me grab a light here. Fuel stabilizer, no stabilizer, it don't fucking matter. Look at all that crusty shit in there. That is dried up fuel particulate, corrosion and the like, but mostly it's just the nasty shit that's in fuel. And it don't fucking matter, stabilizer, no stabilizer. This is exactly what will happen. Every time, all the time. Now, there is one caveat here. This pretty much only happens when fuel is allowed to breathe, if it's open to the atmosphere. If it can breathe at all, yeah, what am I doing here? If it can breathe at all, yeah, you're gonna have a problem. It'll stay. It'll keep pretty well in a like a sealed gas can. That's where a stabilizer works. It doesn't fucking work in a breathable gas tank. And anything that breathes, just fucking forget about it. If you're not just constantly flushing new fuel through it, yeah, all you can do. I mean, the only thing you can do is drain this shit out or run it out of gas, which, you know, is what I'm planning to do from here on out with that fuel shutoff valve over there. Anyway. Stop turning that off, asshole. This float system here and this one are two radically different species. Two totally different monsters right there. I hope you can see it. This is, you know, it's a good float. It's a good old metal one, but this cheap, flimsy fucking piece of shit plastic. What I'm going to have to do here, I pretty much decided, I'm going to glue a shim in there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shim it until it's about level, and then I'm going to shmoo it up. Because there's so much flex in this. It's shit. It's total fucking shit. What do you want for 30 bucks, right? I mean, I wanted something that was going to work a little better than this, but yeah, fuck. Pick your poisons, I guess. That's what I've come up with. That's what I'm gonna do. And Yeah. I don't have a choice. I mean, I can I can shim this to, you know, keep the float down a little, lower the float, which actually, because it goes in this way, I'd be raising the float. It lets the bowl fill up further, because that's got to be what's going on. The bowl is just literally running out of fuel at wide open throttle. It's got enough supply, but this thing ain't acting fast enough because it's not filling up fast enough. And if this doesn't fix it, well, you know what? I do have one final fix for it, and it will, I guarantee it's going to solve the problem forever, permanently. You're going to kick out of it if I have to. I will fix this fucking thing. You'll love it. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to shim the goddamn thing. And like, the only other thing I could do is I can file down the needle. I mean, I can literally take height off of the needle. That would raise this as well. So yeah, that's fuck me. When it rains it pours, you know. Hate fucking carburetors. I fucking hate them. Anyway, that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm gonna do. So this is gonna take a little while. All right, we're back here. All but one of my best laid plans were no freaking good. There just wasn't nothing doing. So what I ultimately ended up doing here, and I know this is going to look like way overkill, I cleaned this shmoo off, that sticky stolastic, whatever, fucking snot, the yellow snot you saw when I pulled this apart. That's some sort of like a sealer, a spray adhesive that you apply to a gasket before you install. I never use it because if you got a good gasket, you don't need the shit. Anyway, that's what all that yellow snot was. I cleaned that off, and it kind of swelled the gasket up a little bit. So maybe this will be a better angle. I don't know. I overshot it a little. It's a little higher than what it should be, but it's still pretty fucking close. What I ended up doing, I had to file down the top of the needle, and I didn't file it. I used a piece of sandpaper, but yeah, I mean, fuck. If that don't fix it, then I got one other option, and that will guaranteed solve this problem once and for all, 100% permanently. But anyway, we're gonna get this back together and go from there. All right, I think so anyway. I don't know what hole that went in. It went in the hole that works the best. That's which one? Probably the middle. Yeah. And that's it. Done. One way or the other, it's fucking done. Now, I didn't bring any starting fluid with me, but there's enough fuel laying down in the intake manifold there. It ought to fire off pretty quickly, and the bowl should fill up, you know, in rapid succession. So yeah, there's nothing to her but to let it up, I guess. Maybe. Piece of fucking shit. Well, that's as good as I'm willing to make it go, because anything more would just be uncivilized. That was it. Or at least that was it well enough. Runs better once it's, you know, up to temp. I didn't fully get it there, but it ought to be plenty hot enough. As you can see, the warmer it got, the better it ran. Yeah, I mean, the intake's pretty hot right there, so that means the cylinder heads and cylinders themselves are pretty up to temp. So yeah, fuck me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Guys, if these cheap Chinese shitters are worth it, I mean, if you got something like this that, you know, you just don't much care about, I guess so. I mean, you see what I had to do to finally get the thing to work right. And I'm not saying it's 100%, but I don't know, it's a good 85%, I'd say, if not 90. And that's, you know, for a turd like this, I mean, how much do you really fucking care? Me, not a lot. I don't run wide open throttle, like I said, probably, I don't know, 100 times now. I probably said it. But, yeah, so got to get the wheel back on her. Got a new bolt, and never sees. And, yeah, take her for a run around the block, I guess. All right, enough for now. All right, just real quick off camera. I mean, it's fucking 5 minutes for a steering wheel and air filter here. I just threw that together. You watch me take it apart. There ain't nothing to see here, really. Figured I'd save you another 5 minutes out of your day or life or whatever. Just so hopefully, maybe, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but hopefully, maybe. I packed that full of, it's not grease, it's called Silglide. It's primarily used for like an O-ring sealant or lubrication, not a sealant so much, but a lubrication. It's silicone based, so hopefully it will repel any kind of water moisture that might want to get down in there again. The wheel went on pretty tight, but you know, really no big deal. A couple of taps with just the palm of my hand, and you know, boom, it was home. I never seized the bolt, so hopefully that never seizes again. But stopping the water getting down in there from the top side, I thought was, you know, probably a good idea. So that's what I did. And yeah, guess we'll put this cap on here. Not like this works for doing much of anything except maybe keeping a little dust out. But yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. I think so. You want to go for a ride? Let's do that real quick. Take her around the block now, won't. All right, I think I'm ready to rock and roll here. Just an aside, whatever. Just little bits and pieces that I know that I can pass along here. I had to use a little bit of choke until this thing really got warmed up, until she would run wide open throttle, wide open choke. You put an air filter on top of that. That's a air restriction. It's naturally going to run a little richer than it was before no air filter. So that should alleviate more than likely the need for, you know, choke at wide open throttle. In other words, it'll run wide open throttle sooner at a lower temperature than it would without an air filter. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. But let's see what she does here. Can't argue with that. seems like it's idling a little high. Close enough. You see what I saw. Once she gets up to temp, I mean fully up to temp, it'll run. And honestly, that's what the old one did. It took a while for this bitch to get happy, but once it got there, it would run. It would run wide open. So yeah, I'd say we're pretty much back to the way this thing was back when it used to work the way it used to work. So well, I don't know if it was worth it, but it was certainly a project. And now I got my poo turd tractor back, that, as well, the way it appears anyway, unless something really dumb happens to it. I don't know. I mean, it could blow up at any time. It could catch on fire for all I fucking know. I don't know. But whatever. I'm gonna call that pretty much done. I was gonna hard tube. I said it before, I was gonna hard tube that fuel line. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm a little lazy, and a couple of zip ties and a little bit of rubber shielding. Fuck it, it'll be good enough. I ain't gotta worry about that shit. But now I can literally shut the fuel off, which I'm gonna do that. I gotta remember to do it from here on out. But yeah, I mean, you saw it. Now I just come up here and I shut the fuel off and run it out of gas when I'm ready to make it, or let it sit. And then of course I got to remember to turn it the fuck back on. And new stuff is hard to remember. But I just saw a drip. Yeah, you motherfucker. Goes from not leaking to leaking. Well, the float height is a little bit higher now too as well. And float height is a very critical measurement. So I ain't gonna fucking worry about this thing no more. I be done. So yeah, that's my story anyway, and I'm sticking to it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll put some names, some numbers, pieces, parts, whatever, in the description and whatnot. I'll tally this up at some point. I know I'm well under the actual replacement or cost of a OEM replacement for this carburetor. I'm well under that. So I don't know what I got in it, but I mean, like I said, I paid $200 for the tractor. It was basically going to be totaled just by replacing the fucking carburetor with an OEM one. That's why I went cheap Chinese, and then I got some optional extras, and well, you saw. So I'm going to tally that up because I am curious myself. And then of course there's my time and effort and whatnot into it. But yeah, whatever. I'm probably gonna add a spring somewhere to make this thing idle properly. The old one never had a problem, but this one apparently does. So some linkage is probably a little, you know, not or the holes for the linkage is probably drilled at a slightly different spot. You know, it might be a simple millimeter high or low, whichever, and it's just, you know, it's keeping it up, the RPMs there up there, you know, another 500 above where it should be. That's what it sounds like anyway. It's probably about 500 RPMs too high. Anyway, yeah, this is the third and probably hopefully the final installment for this thing. I feel like I'm done with it anyway. It's turnkey drive tractor. It's going to do what I need it to do, and fuck it. Know what I mean? All right, so hey, thanks for hanging out. I hope you hung out. I hope you enjoyed this. I halfway did, kind of. I haven't worked on one of these in quite a while. Something different for a change after sitting indoors all freaking winter thinking about it. It's good to finally get out here and get it done. So, all right, here we go. I think I'm done now. So, thanks for hanging out, and cheers.